And I have just, put some channel discussion here. And obviously, you could be directly talking to the customers, or you could be doing it in an indirect way. You could be doing it with your own sales force, you could be doing it online, you could have your own stores, right? You could have partner stores, franchises, whatever it is, which is an indirect method. You could be doing distribution, wherein you sell to a large distributor and the distributor takes care of it. There are multiple models that can be in this, and for different businesses, these models can be very different. What I put together is a very high level description of what potentially could be a channel. How are we selling it? How are we delivering our business value? How are we delivering our benefit to our target customer segment? We just have to think through that. Now, mind that each channel has a different role to play in this whole ecosystem. And I have listed a few of those. Right? Some channels raise awareness about your product. They may not actually carry your product to the customer, but they just raise awareness. There are some who help customers evaluate, like perhaps your portal, which allows consumers to look at their needs and evaluate various alternatives. So for a bank, you could be this channel. See, it's who you are that determines who is your channel or who you are channel for. It could be a direct purchase and so many more. So other than what I have put here, any other thoughts on the channel of reaching your product or service to the customer? Yes. The workshop is a good channel for a lot of consultants.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth, yes. Word of mouth.
Seminars.
Seminars. Yeah, a lot of times this is used as a channel to generate the awareness about creating the brand. Right?
It could be a bundle product, say the apps for an iPad.
Yes.
You don't have direct sale, but you're actually bundling it through
so the iStore becomes a channel. The iStore becomes a channel for you. If you are an iPad app, iStore becomes your channel. And each channel will have its own characteristics. It's a very interesting thing. We will not get into it now. But each channel has got a cost attached to that channel. Okay? If I sold direct, right, I would get X money for my product. If I have an iPad app, for example, okay, just now since you talk about the iPad app, I have an iPad app, and I think if I put it on the iStore, I'm going to get, let's say, 1 lakh users to download this. Just take for example, right? If I am going to do that, and then I say, okay, how much will I be able to charge for my app? We say $5. Okay, ₹200. Point is, you multiply your revenue of 1 lakh multiplied by 200, and you say I have got 200 lakhs revenue. Because the channel you are using is iStore, actually they will take 30%, 40% off right off the back, and they will only give you the remaining. So your cost structure for a channel also may be different. Okay. Now the same application, right, can be put on as a web model on the web. And if it's on the web, you can actually do it as a subscription model. Right? If you do it as a subscription model, the channel is very different. The users may be different. But what you may be able to do is may not be able to charge 200 rupees. May be able to charge maybe 50 rupees every month, or maybe 20 rupees every month. Okay? So your revenue in all probabilities will be that whole 20 rupees a month, whatever it is, and do the calculation on an ongoing basis. But does it have costs? It has costs. It has different costs, right? You have to host it, you have to have a payment gateway to process the payment every month, whatever it is, right? So what I'm telling you, the point is that the same product, seemingly same product, depending on the channel that you use, can have different revenue propositions and cost propositions. So that is also another important element as you choose the channel. And a mix of channels will determine what is a profitable channel for you, vice versa. Not so profitable channel. Why you want to use A channel versus B channel? And maybe you want to use iPad's iStore channel because it gives you visibility. Right? I have a great example. In Pune, we have a game company called Rolocule. Have you heard of Rolocule? Rolocule is, they just won last month. It's a 5 people company. For those of you who read Indian Express, this Sunday, Indian Express, they have a magazine called EYE. They were on the front page of that magazine actually, on the cover. But anyway, the point is that they have iPad games for iPad, and they won awards. They won the best game award, this, that, and all that. 5 people company. But they released a version on Android. Okay. When they released the version on Android, the Android version is practically free, but they saw their iPod sales zoom. Why? Because with the Android, they got the publicity. They got the, the downloads went through the roof. And the effect of that was their sales on iStore started zooming, because iStore has a difficulty in discoverability. There's just too many apps there, right? So the channels can play that role, yes.
Actually, also the trust builds up because you are on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
So they think that you are serious about it.
Absolutely. So the point is that this channel decisions that we make for our products and services also have impact or repercussions on so many other things. Any thoughts on this channel? Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Having a channel can help you capture customers which you would have missed out.
Yeah.
There are many people waiting to be serviced if only you went to them.
Can you repeat and expand that? I'm sorry.
For instance, I'm in the product category of garments.
Okay.
Exhibitions is an alternate route where even normal stores are spending a lot of revenue on real estate costs.
Sure, absolutely.
So exhibitions is a channel capturing and creating a market which actually doesn't exist, waiting to be serviced but missed.
Great. Yeah, and then you have it's like online, right?
Online too.
Online is another channel. If you're in the garment business, you can actually open up a store on High Street, in Bandra or one of these places, spend a lot of money, or you could participate in exhibitions, or you could be online, and there are online platforms today available that provide you that that facility. You heard of this company called Zyphos?
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody can tell about what their model is?
What acquired by Amazon.
It's acquired by Amazon, but let's talk about, forget the Amazon part of it.
There is shoes, right?
Yeah, they started with shoes, they're into garments. Can you just think, will you ever order, a pair of shoes online?
Because 365-day, exchange period,
Right.
change your mind.
Yeah, great. So what the point is, you want to go to a shoe shop, try out shoes, walk around, right? See if it is comfortable, right? And then buy shoes. This is the normal shoe buying paradigm, right? But Zyphos questioned that, and they said, we will sell shoes online. Why do I have to have a shoe shop on 5th Avenue in New York and blah, blah, blah? The real estate is just so much, right? So what they do, you can choose a dozen pair of shoes that they will ship to you. You can keep one after 1 week or whatever it is and send the remaining back. And the one that you keep also, if you don't like it after X amount of time, you can send it back.
After using.
Yeah, and they will discard it probably, or they'll send it to Africa. The point is, it's all about the rate of rejection, right? It's about how many such customers will return after using for 365 days, as you said. Very few. So it's your business model and your channel. It's funny how people have created these models and channels in a very, very differentiated manner.
Is it a profit-making company?
Yeah, absolutely. You see the valuation at which people bought. It's not funny. Very valuable. Okay, I'll move on to the next. Customer relationship is why does the customer want to do business? In what way do you connect with customers? The manner in which the business connects with its customers is the basis of the customer relationship building block that we're talking about. I'm just giving you this in the context of this canvas. Okay, customer relationship may mean different things in different contexts, but for us to write or to think about our business, look at it this way. Now, these are some of the models of creating connect with the customers, right? Makes sense, right? A variety of ways in which you connect with customers and create value. Okay, and some of the simplest part is, you know, get on the call center, you call, get service. But there are so many interesting and new models that are springing up now in the area of co-creation. Right? Wikipedia. The content now these days, the crowdsourcing model, right? Crowd testing brings down the cost of testing an application and the time to a fraction of what it used to be. Right? Now these are ways in which you create those connect with those customers and create those relationships. Every business and every customer segment and, you know, will have its own unique way of doing it. And I have just put some very high level stuff, and I'm sure for your own business you may be able to do it in a more, you know, micro and more specific manner. So that is what we call as customer relationships. And what do the customers eventually generate out of all this? Revenue, right? This is what we exist for, right? And on the revenue streams also, there could be a number of ways a business generates revenue. Okay? Allow me to present a few. Okay? If I sell a book, if I sell a car, if I sell a flat, whatever it is, right? It's a typically asset sale kind of a model. Usage fee. I'll give you, you know, something free also if required, but you charge for usage every time it is being used. Subscription, great model, annuity based. Leasing, renting, licensing, typically software or any of the IP, music, typically license based. Brokerage, you know, some of your models could be based on brokerage or a percentage of a transaction, you know, fee kind of a model. Advertising, you know, typically now. And these are some of the revenue streams that, or a combination of any of these or more. So I just want you guys to think about any revenue stream that I have missed out, and we will add to our we are co-creating a value, right? Any revenue stream that I may not have thought of in this.
Actually, you know, consumer feedback, if it's thought of, then actually.
Now we have, in the first task, we identified our customer segments. We also identified our value propositions, right? Now use the same color post-it notes for that combination and add channels, customer relationships and revenue streams. Please do it quickly, and we may not have a lot of time to exchange, but I will find a few people who can share their thoughts. Yeah. Use the color. आपके पास color paper नहीं है? No?
Borrow it from the people
Yeah.
in front of you.
Ask more people.
Get color. There are colorful people here. It's all possible. Yeah. Then we just have to think through that whole sequence. And if you missed out on a revenue stream today, no problem. We can add another post-it note sometime later.
Another point we take in course is that business model and business planning is an ongoing thing.
I'm going to talk about that right after this. customer relationship is how are you connecting with the customer? You know, are you connecting with the customer through a channel only? Are you having a, what is your model of customer connection? Okay, can someone share, maybe one or two of us, can you share your linkage between from the first? I'll just go back to this.
Just, little confusion between the channel and the relationship.
Yeah, there is likely through your, there are these shops who sell laptops, right, or mobile phones. But if you have a problem, if you're in any service, you got to activate it with HP or whatever it is. In that case, your channel for customer connect may be very different as compared to the sales channel.
A software product which you typically need somebody to go in and sell, and then you also need a support team to kind of, keep.
Yeah, and especially enterprise products, it does happen quite a bit.
Right.
Wherein there is, your ongoing customer relationship channel is which implements and makes sure that those products get deployed in the customer usage for customer usage, right? So that's a very important, customer touch point for you in terms of creating that relationship. And sometimes companies will differentiate themselves by a channel or a customer relationship that makes the product successful in deployment.
Right. My question is, where does it fall in this piece of?
These are just some examples I have given. This is not an exclusive or exhaustive list.
Okay.
We could actually add more to this.
So when you want me to start bringing it down, you want me to put all the categories?
Yes. Yes. It is for you to think through all the categories that your business, your product, your service has. And this is just an indication. This is not an all exhaustive list. But the exercise is aimed at actually allowing you to create or think through all the different channels that you may have for your product or service. Can somebody please share their I'm rushing you guys through it, but
Yeah, it's impossible.
but idea is for you to get an idea of, idea is for you to get to know what the model is. Once you know the model and you can go back and work on it. Nothing stops you from doing that. But idea is for us to share so that our basic concepts get clearer.
Yeah, I'm not good at homework.
That's the reason we want to do it here. That's the reason I don't share the PPT.
And more importantly, the most important piece comes with the customer. So you're not supposed to be doing this in your office anyway. You're supposed to go out and iterate it with your customer.
Yeah, very quickly can someone, yeah.
The revenue stream that I was talking about regarding our business was the table bookings that we do. We do the table bookings for the customers, we provide a service as per the of the. So the revenue that we generate is from the restaurant. We charge the restaurant whenever we book the table for us. So it's the kind of, that's the kind of revenue system that we have in place. We are not charging for the bill generated, we are not charging for the online portal that we provide. It's absolutely free of cost. The revenue system remains, it is very quantifiable and measurable because they have to pay us whenever we send them over.
And just in your case, another additional revenue stream could be subscription. In order to just be listed in your website, a restaurant can pay. So when you define your revenue streams, you define all the possible revenue streams that your business can potentially generate.
Now, we have advertised, but as of now it's...
Yeah. So my request to you would be, for all of you, is to put it down. Okay. Now you can choose not to use that particular revenue stream for whatever strategic reason. But it is so important for you to envisage all the possible combination that can happen in this circumstance. Yeah. Okay. One more quickly, and we'll move on to the next one. Yeah. Yes, please. You can speak. We can hear.
My portal basically the infoshop.com. It is basically a social commerce portal.
Okay.
Where we are targeting importer, exporters, traders, like a marketplace, and we are also targeting the shopping. Means anybody can create their own online shop. The revenue streams are basically the subscriptions and advertisement and the commissions on product sales. The channels that
I'm sorry, I'm the one taking people. The phone is on. Sorry.
the channel that we are using for the advertisement, social media, advertisement through print and digital media, and the customer relation. The channels are affiliate models also and the resellers.
What is the first one? Affiliate.
Affiliate and the resellers.
Okay.
The customer relationship is basically the through our resellers.
Okay. Good. I will not spend more time. Just one last one. No, just go quickly.
We are basically a portal which are trying to build on accounting, taxation and compliance services which we give offline now. This is basically where the customer relationship, we are going to do a ticketing system for the customers wherein we will receive the suggestions, the feedbacks and the ideas or some data from the customer and we will service it and then they can follow the tickets when they do. That is one. Another is we will do a feedback collection at each junction so that we improve ourselves whenever we get a feedback and we improvise on that and develop. On the channel side, we will use of course, the website, the emails and the SMS as the basic channel. And the social media and the last one is the blogging and the newsletter channel. In the revenue streams, we have our accounting, taxation services. We will also provide online consulting to the video chat facility. And the third revenue model is of course the referrals because we are targeting the tax consultants and chartered accountants to register on our portal and we will refer the localized customers to them for consulting purposes. They can go online as well as offline consulting to these people. And lastly, the subscriptions where the consultants, if they want to get ranking on our website, they can subscribe.
Great. And this is a good one. Also, I was in a similar meeting yesterday in Pune. And we had in this one room, we had a person who was providing financial planning or advisory service. Where you'll say, "Aapke paas kitna paisa hai? What is your age? How many kids you have, etc., etc." And create a financial profile and look at where it is. And you have many of these, right? And he had a tough time trying to sell his service because the moment he said, "Hey, mere paas, what do you do? I provide financial advice." Okay, this customer said, "Okay, हमको tax return करना है." I don't do tax returns. I only do financial advice. Okay, and you would get frustrated because the customer would ask him everything other than what he's trying to sell, right? And then in the same room, we had a guy who was doing the filing. Okay, it's so funny that these two services are so related to each other. The guy who does the filing could be an initial need of a customer. Okay. So this guy was saying, if a customer says, "I want filing," say, "I don't do filing." That would be his response. But after our discussion, he found a partner who will do filing. Number one, so he wouldn't turn the customer back. And funnily, the filing guy said, "You know what? Most of the guys tax. When I do tax filing, I know their financial system is in a mess." Okay. So by knowing or doing the filing, I can actually refer the customers that actually need your service. You understand? So sometimes what happens is that by too narrowly defining our set of services and not collaborating, you actually may lose out on the real customer base. It was very evident at the end of yesterday's conversation that these two people sitting in other two corners of the room, they said, "Boss, abhi saath mein chalte hain bahar." And I hope and I suspect that they both of them redefined their business model. Right? Very, very interesting conversation. And since you talked about this tax filing and the services on this, I thought of.
I think that was brilliant. This is a round of applause.
Okay, I have to tell you some bad news. We are running behind. We are supposed to close at 5:30. The next session starts only at 6:30, I believe. Right? So is it okay if we extend this a little bit? 15 minutes? Is that okay? let's try to stay close. But I hate to clamp on discussions which actually add real value to this whole conversation, right? Okay. If you looked at your own canvas, okay. If you look at your own canvas, I'm just going to pull this up, okay. You would have seen that you've covered the right, right? You've covered the pieces that are on the right side. Okay. Now these are the pieces on the left side. Okay. And I'm just going to quickly go through each one of these and ask for your inputs. And what then we will do is we will put those pieces on our canvas. Okay. So we will go one after another on these 4 pieces. Okay. The first one is key resources. Typically, resources are things that you require so that you can provide your product and service. Those things that are absolutely required to be in place for you to be able to do that. It could be some physical assets that may be required. It could be some intellectual assets. Could be people. Sometimes, or more importantly, sometimes financial assets, so that you could actually see through your cycle till your customer starts paying you. And these are some of the resources I have listed, some of the key resources. There could be more depending on what your business is. Okay. There could be, your key resources could be relationship with politicians if your business is to do something. It's possible. It depends on. So the point is that for your own business, identification of what are those key resources without which your business is a non-startup. You just have to identify those, and I have listed a few of these for you to look at. But for yourself, you look at what is it that for your business are the key resources. Okay. The next is key activities. What is it that you need to do to convert these resources into the products or services that you are delivering?